We are now a certified B Corp. Woo! All of our work over the last 5 years in making Bearkind a sustainable and ethical brand is being publicly recognized. And because of the way that I have set Bearkind up to be as responsible as possible, it was actually a breeze for me to get through the certification process. So honestly, I was expecting the worst when it came to certifying to be a B Corp. People had told me it can take months, if not years, to get through the process. So once I actually finally got through, I thought, is this it? Like, it almost felt too easy. But what you've got to remember is I've spent ages, years, building Bearkind up to this point without even realizing. So for me, there wasn't actually anything I changed about the company. It was just about documenting what I'm doing and proving it to the B Corp team so that they can then certify us for that. So from start to finish, it took about 5 months for me to get through the process, which feels very speedy. And during that time, I wasn't actively working on it all the time. There was a lot of kind of sitting and waiting around. I think there was at least a month in the middle whilst I was waiting to be assigned someone to look at my case. And then every time I submitted documents, the team at B Corp obviously need to review it. So it felt quite simple when I got into it, but I thought it'd be useful for me to come on and do a video about my experience and any tips that I've got in case you're looking and thinking about going down the B Corp route. So in this video, I'm going to talk about briefly what a B Corp is and why I decided to apply, what the verification process was like for me, and my top tips for getting certified, some things to watch out for during the process, and also what our next steps are now that we've been certified. So the B Corp certification is a designation that a business is meeting high standards of verified performance, accountability and transparency on factors from employee benefits and charitable giving to supply chain practices and input materials. That's their official statement. Obviously, there's lots more information on the B Corp website about exactly what the nitty and gritty of it, but there's now over 7,000 companies worldwide that are part of the B Corp certification kind of community, and they're all businesses that are taking their responsibility to people, planet and profit really seriously. And now we're a part of that, so really excited that Bearkind is being recognized. There are some huge multinational companies that are a part of it, but there are also smaller businesses like ours, so there's a real mix. And the thing is, those big companies, although they'd have whole teams that could be working on getting them through the process, I'm sure there'll be so many more hoops for them to jump through to get certified. As a small business, we benefit from being super agile. So I'm the only one doing the certification process, but I'm the only one that needs to be, because if a decision needs to be made or if I need to build a document, I don't have any governance process or anything that I need to go through to get something approved. I just do it. Kind of the beauty of owning the business, but it just means it was quite a smooth process for me. And I think actually we benefit from being a small business and getting this kind of exposure. So we're now on the B Corp website, our brand's on there, people can find us. I've been contacted by so many different people saying congratulations for being certified, so people obviously keep an eye on it. And there are a few other reasons why I decided to certify Bearkind as a B Corp as well. As I said before, I didn't really change anything with the business to get certified. So the way I've set Bearkind up means I think it was born to be a certified B Corp. I had to put effort in to document all of our processes and things that we're doing well and in a responsible way, but ultimately there was nothing I actually physically had to change within the business. So it really made sense for us to do this certification. Also, a lot of companies that I admire, brands that I look up to and aspire to be like, are B Corp certified. So it does feel like a necessary next step to be able to follow in their footsteps. B Corp also has a huge amount of momentum at the moment, so it's growing in popularity. More people have heard of it and more people are looking to it and seeing it as a mark of trust. So that's a really important one for our customers. And finally, I think it actually really holds us accountable and makes us strive to be better. So being B Corp certified, the key thing is it does not mean we're perfect, and it doesn't mean that that's it. The journey's not over there. So we are now certified as a B Corp for 3 years, but we'll be recertified at that 3-year mark. So now is the time to work on the rest of our strategy in terms of being a sustainable and ethical business and building on top of that, because we're always needing to improve. With sustainability, the goalposts are always moving as the planet is ever changing. So I don't think sustainability can ever be completed. There's always going to be something better that you can do, and we should always be striving to improve. And I think that's the key thing with any sustainability journey is it's not about perfection, but it's about improving on what you are currently doing. You can never be done with sustainability. It is a journey of infinite steps. So now I'll talk to you about the application process itself. The first step is to get a B Lab account, which is free. You can just log in at this point. You don't have to be even considering B Corp. Just have a look. I really recommend taking a look because they have their questionnaire on there, and that's the first step, is to go through this monster questionnaire. And it is a bit of a monster. It does take some time to go through, and at that point you're kind of ticking all the boxes and talking about all the different steps within the B Corp verification process to say, yeah, we do this, we don't do this, or we might be able to do this. I actually really recommend going through that now so you can see where you should be going. Use it almost like as a way to benchmark yourself and provide a roadmap to where you can go with your sustainability journey. So that's where I started. And as I went through this process, I realized, oh, hang on, we're actually ticking a lot of these boxes. So I think I can certify now, but you might be able to just use it almost as a to-do list. So you can start ticking off things on your sustainability journey. To get actually certified, you need to hit 80 points and above. They say through the verification process that you will lose points, whether you don't understand the question properly, or maybe you get to the verification process, you've said yes to something and you can't actually prove it. Most companies will lose points during that process. So they say try and get as many points as possible above the 80 threshold. So then if you do lose points in the verification process, it doesn't matter too much. So we went in a few points over 100, I think, and we came out with just 80.5. So we did lose a few crucial points in the process in a few areas, and I'll cover those off later in the video. So then once you're submitted, you'll be assigned a member of the B Corp team to go through your verification process with you. And then this is the point the hard work needs to be put in. So this is where you have to provide all the evidence for what you're stating. What I would say is as you go through your questionnaire, so where you're starting to tick all those boxes and say what you're doing, I wouldn't worry too much about proving them at that point, because once you submit to say, yes, I want to be a verified B Corp, it takes a while for you to be assigned someone. So you have plenty of time to get that evidence going. There were a few things that I ticked on the questionnaire to say that we do that I said, okay, well, I don't have the evidence right now. I will have to build that to show that we're doing it. And kind of like bring the documentation in, bring all that evidence together, because there's a lot of admin there. But I think at that point, you don't need to do it when you're submitting. I did it during the verification process. But to be honest, it's just a lot of paperwork. It's not hard, but it is a lot of work. You're trying to prove that everything you say you're doing, you are actually doing. So things like our charity donations, we're actually doing it. I had to build all the evidence around it, submit all of the documents to say, you know, this is how much we've donated to charity. So there is quite a lot of admin involved, but if you're actually doing what you say you're doing, then it should be quite easy to build all that together. Also, a key part of the verification process that you have to do near the start, otherwise you won't get through the rest of it, is you have to make a legal change to your business to bring in the kind of B Corp wording into almost like your constitution, as it were. So very different process depending where you're based. I'm in the UK. This was via Companies House. I had to submit a few documents. The first one was C004 Statement of Company Objects. Then I had to submit a resolution of alteration to my company's Articles of Association via Companies House to say that I'm actually going to make a change to the legal structure of my business, and I've also gone through the relevant approvals for this. Then I have to submit the Articles of Association itself. So this is where you will change the Articles of Association, which is all the documents to do with your business. You'll input the B Corp wording. So B Corp will provide you with the legal wording that you need to put into your Articles of Association. I did get confused through that process, but B Corp provides step-by-step instructions. So I was trying to follow it through, but if you do get stuck, let me know. I've obviously freshly been through the process. So if you've got any questions, drop them below and I'll try my best to help. Overall, the whole process is done through the B Corp portal. It's really easy to use and I had a great experience with it. The person I was assigned from B Corp to help me with my verification process and check off all my documents was awesome, really patient with all my questions as well. So there is a lot of back and forth. So if you submit one document and they say this isn't quite right, you can question it and then work out what you actually need to provide and how it works. So that's quite good in that way that there is someone there to actually help you get through the process. Quickly, I wanted to go through a few things to watch out for during the process. If your business is founded by a majority who are from a minority background, such as an ethnic minority, or you are female, you do get a discount on your annual certification fee. So make sure you're submitting that via the hub to make sure that it's actually applied. This discount is for the annual certification fee, which you pay once you're verified. There is a separate verification fee that you have to pay at the beginning of the process, and this will kickstart your verification process. That's because they actually have to assign someone to work on your case. So obviously, you know, they're paying someone to verify you, so they need that money up front. So the discount you're getting for being a minority is on the annual certification fee, which comes later, not the verification fee. So I actually delayed my process a bit because I was kind of questioning why I hadn't got the discount until I realized that it was the wrong fee. So just something to watch out for. You will be assigned deadlines within the portal. So deadlines to pay the verification fee, to make the legal change, to submit your documents, just anything like that. So for example, I was given a few months to make the legal change to my business. So I was like, oh, great, I'll just leave that bit of admin I don't need to worry about now. But it actually delayed my process. So the sooner I'd have done that, the sooner I could have got through the process. So potentially I could have taken maybe 4 months to do the process, but because I delayed it, it meant that they just didn't progress with the application. So just do everything as fast as you can, and then you'll get through verification sooner. You will lose points during the verification process. So try and get as many points as possible over 80, and this will help you during your verification process. If you do just drop some points here and there, it won't damage you too much because the process is pretty black and white. There are a few things that I said that we did that changed. You know, we had a significant amount of employee growth, for example, when we verified, but then we had a couple of leavers, so who went back to uni. So our kind of profile of our employees changed. So that meant that we lost some points there. Another few things that we lost points on were, I said we're a living wage employer because we are, but Andy and myself, we get paid a director's salary. It's a legal and like tax efficient way of paying yourself as a director of a company that you're more likely to take dividends at the end of the year instead of like a high monthly salary, for example. But because of that, it actually meant technically we are not on a living wage. I'm not surprised because the amount of hours that we do, but that's completely normal. But because of the process, technically we didn't get the points for being a living wage employer. So just a few things to watch out for. Another example, our charity donations, we lost a whopping 12 points because of the way our charity donations are structured. So currently we donate 10% of the profits to the animal on the sock. That actually works out just over 2% of revenue. In the B Corp verification process, they ask you to donate either 20% of profits or 2% of revenue. So I was like, great, well, we donate over 2% of revenue. Here's the proof. And obviously I have all the evidence, receipts from charities. But because we don't publicly state 2% of revenue, we say 10% of profit, we lost the points there. Which kind of hurt us because we found out like near the end of the process, but we're certified now. So now I understand the process and what points we get for kind of what processes. I'll be able to navigate the business over the next 3 years to make sure we're certified much higher when we next do it. So now what? Well, we are B Corp certified, yes. It's a really massive achievement because it is a lot of hard work. I say the process is easy, but I've been building Bear Kind to be a responsible business for the last 5 years. Every decision I made, I'm trying to improve the business to be better for the planet, better for the people that work for us, better for the people that work with us, our third-party suppliers and people like that. So all the work has been put in. And I think, you know, the credit we're getting for the B Corp certification really is credit where credit is due. As soon as we got B Corp certified, we obviously started planning in our announcement strategy. Did a big flash announcement across all of our channels, and that was really nice to see. We got lots of people congratulating us. It is a hard process to go through for a lot of people. I think I'm saying here that it's simple. There's a lot of work to do, and it does take some time, but I think it's a simple process, especially if you've set your business up in the right way. So I really recommend, if you are a responsible business, you should be going through this because you should be getting credit for what you are doing. The next thing on my agenda for this is to do the certification reports. Now we legally have a responsibility to write a B Corp report each year. We actually already do an impact report anyway. So we have our charity impact report that comes out in January. This is where we talk about all the good things we've been doing in the year, kind of all the proof around where we're donating, what the impact is of the donations. So I'm going to stitch in the B Corp impact side of it into that. But we're just basically being held accountable for that process now. And as part of it, I am going to build a roadmap for the next 3 years up to certification. So there's loads of things that I think we can be doing as a company that will help us in our B Corp certification when we get recertified. So really excited to get stuck into that after Christmas. I really hope you found this video useful. If either you're going through your verification process right now, and let me know in the comments if you've got any questions, or if you're thinking about it, it's a really good community to be a part of. I'm seeing that already. already. And I'm just really proud of the business and how far we've come, and getting B Corp certified is a huge deal for us. So if you found this video useful, please drop us a like and subscribe to our channel to get weekly content that will help you and your business grow. And I'll see you in the next video.